Hello and welcome to another edition of the Eternal Journey. I'm the Resolves, and this is LOA Spellcrag I. So recently the Kaleb Reborn and the Jotun both got a little bit of stealth buff. So the Jotun is now just a little bit more survivable with the 4 points of toughness, which means not only does it survive Hailstorm, but it doesn't care about like double torch and is able to attack a lot more easily into opposing boards. And Kaleb's ultimate is now just cheaper, so you can pay 5 instead of 6, and that's a world of difference. And in a lot of matchups, this could be helpful in turning a hand that's just a bunch of do-nothings or just like a bunch of power that you don't want into just something a little bit more reasonable. And of course, when we just like join a bunch of cards with stuff like Wisdom of the Elders and the attack trigger off the Jotun, we can perhaps just get lethal out of nowhere, because if Kaleb Reborn just is not blocked for a turn, it can get out of nowhere. I mean, like this with 2 torches is basically 12 damage out of nowhere, and that's just pretty sweet. So I'm pretty excited to find out what happens here, so let's get out of those games. Okay, and here we are on the play, and the old Levitate Powderglider combo, but I think we'll redraw this. This isn't much better, but we do have the Crest here, so Paul's going to try and find a little bit of action with this. Primal Sigil, not it. Hoping this is a matchup, so Argent-Bot, okay great. So this is a matchup where the Eilyn's intervention is going to be able to do quite a lot for us, as it's able to kill most of the flies in the deck, well, maybe all. As well as just being able to counter things like Slay is pretty sweet. The way our hand's looking now, we just sort of want to make and protect this Jotun Feastcaller. This is good as well because we've got the Polymorph, so we've got a nice easy answer to anything like Tavrod.
Trust in your skills.
And Eilyn's Intervention and Torch here, both roughly the same. But I think that if we can play Jotun Feastcaller, I was going to try and play it as soon as possible, so we'll just use this here, just because this kills more different stuff. Vadius is potentially quite good as well, so I think we'll keep that.
Send a message.
Having the torch means we've got a reasonable answer to, I think we'll actually torch this now, to like a Crown Witch Traitor. Well, I'm pretty sure if our opponent had a Crown Witch Traitor, they would have played it there. There we go, a little bit of extra value, get the Granite in as well. But I'll be playing the Jotun Feastcaller. I'm pretty sure that our opponents now are not going to be able to double spell to kill this in this turn. Okay, our Runhammer, rats. Well, now I suppose this is what we're doing. I don't really want to play the Vadius just to trade with the hammer 2 for 1. We're pretty daft about getting rid of that torch now, because that would have been quite nice here.
Trust in your skills.
Let's have a Crest and see what we've got. And Phyllis Yeti is probably not what we're looking for, but yeah, let's get rid of that. Play Vadius, Frost this. I suppose we'll be trading, and then we'll just need to play down the Feastcaller and hope we can just start getting somewhere with that. So we've got the Feastcaller here, and then if our opponent plays like a flying unit here, we're able to lock it down with the Powderglider, but the Varus Favor into a Slay here will be quite gross. I'm going to assume just we're allowed to attack here. I guess it's Strategize time. I think I'd much rather the Kaleb here anyway. Just give our opponent 2 threats that they really need to deal with now.
Trust in your skills.
But I'm pretty committed to just stunning this down. I'll attack in here. I don't think we're going to be using the ultimate here. Okay, we've got some pretty realistic defense here now. We've got the Eilyn's intervention.
Your time has passed.
And Powderglider is probably good. We can probably just Powderglider this forever.
Send a message.
So I need to think here. I could ultimate this, that'd be pretty nice, but I think I'm just going to get in with everyone. Okay, Levitate's great. Because now Prawn can't block it. I mean, they pretty much easily just block there anyway. Can we get enough damage in? Well, they're at 12, and we've got to look at 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we could very much just have them dead, which is pretty sweet. Oh, double prowess. Sweet. Doesn't matter. We got it. Just getting to combo off there is great. So that was a pretty exciting interaction, something I've not really seen before, just having a bunch of prowess units in play. Okay, here we are for another game, and if I had another fire source, I'd really like this. But we do have a couple of ways of finding it, because we've got the Fearless Yeti and the Strategize, and then hopefully we'll be able to get in there with the Vadius and the Champion. So I think we will actually keep this. And, uh-oh, only one in deck. This could be trouble. Depending on what factions our opponent's playing, I might be tempted to trade the Fearless Yeti. But as long as our opponent doesn't play weapons, then the Warcry shouldn't be too much of a problem, because we can just polymorph them if they all go on the same unit. Okay, well, the torch there is fine. I'm sort of hoping to just draw a fire source though. And Kaleb Reborn is not quite what we're looking for. But I suppose we'll just try again with the Fearless Yeti. I've also not had any like real plays here, so I'm curious what's going on here. So the hand was maybe kept on the strength of the turn on runner. This is probably quite an easy trade. Just get rid of this, because this is a nuisance. If this is the finest hour, then that's probably fine, because we still traded for it. But now we are getting into, we're in trouble territory. Okay, don't really need a bunch of polymorphs. I think we'll just blast this now. I don't want everyone just to put a just putting a forge plate on the Willinger would be really difficult to beat. Putting on this is still going to be difficult.
Move over. I'll handle this. The end.
I suppose we're trying to levitate, turn this into like a little bit of something, but I think we're in real trouble here. But if we're able to just keep like trading units, we should be in okay shape. And the 4-4 Gem Blade is going to be pretty difficult to beat. And yep, that's a little bit too late there on the Granite Waystone. So just show them who's boss.
Is this my father's doing?
Off to the next game. Okay, and I'm not sure how I feel about this hand on the draw. We do have Powderglider Levitate combo going on, which is probably fine because we're going to be a little bit slow here with the Strategize. But I think we can actually just do better, just a little bit more real interaction. Because we are still trying to beat people down at the end of the day. And here we are against Faln, so I'm just trying to find a robust threat here, and 5 Sigil's not it. Because our Phils here can just get like plinked off by a Varus Favor. But getting to attack with this is pretty great. I assume our opponent's plan is just a Hailstorm though, but they let us attack with this because they just assumed that we're playing some sort of Yeti deck, but our deck's a little bit bigger than that. So I suppose we'll just scout here first. And Torch isn't great against this, but it is like 6 points of burn and 8 if we've got the Kaleb in play. I think realistically we probably just don't want it. And perhaps just strategizing away this Polymorph. I was sort of hoping to find like a depleted Crest there or something. But I've got like 6 points of damage and like another scout in with this Philosophy, then I'm pretty happy. I've never got a new fan. Well, Annihilate, okay. I'm not really going to try and Wisdom into an answer to that. I'm sort of tempted just to play down the Kaleb though, because we can get a bunch of damage in next turn. And if our opponent wants to like Inco Blood this, then that's fine too, but I think what I'm really going to do is just play the Vadius. This way if our opponent doesn't like Inco Blood, it just looks really silly. And with the Torch as well, we should be in pretty good shape at not being able to be blocked here as well. This is one of those matchups where if we're ever able to get there with the Steelfang Chakram, we're in pretty decent shape as well. Because it's just a really tedious threat to have to play through.
Is this my father's doing?
And Kaleb's quite resistant to a lot of removal. Like, even Permafrost isn't great because you still get to play with the ultimate. Right. Okay, well, we're just going to Permafrost 1. Attack with a team. This is a pretty difficult block for our opponent to make because they will lose the unit no matter how they block here. And I think I'm just going to get the extra point of damage in here, just get him for 6. And I think I'm just going to save the Powderglider. If there's something like a Black Sky Havonger in our future, just really try and minimise the damage it's able to do. And now this is a little bit of a nuisance, but we are able to Powderglider this. And this means that we can attack him with either. So we're just going to, well, I guess we're going to be trying to block here. In which case we will just be touching face. And then just make another Kaleb.
Is this my father's doing?
I guess try and fish next turn. Just ultimate, draw 3 cards and just try and find like some sort of cheap interaction to just have lethal in play. My opponent's able to interact with anything here. But we do have them dead like on board. Okay, so it looks like a Varus Favor into a Hailstorm. So that's step 1. But luckily for us, we've got an Obliterate, which is very likely just going to be able to finish those off.
Now, fire!
Okay, and this sounds pretty reasonable actually, because we do have like a champion and a Vadius. I mean, it's a little bit tedious because we can't just like get in there on turn 2 with the champion. But I think we can crest, and we can afford to find like another power here because we'd have the Obliterate and the Vadius ultimate. And we're on the play, so let's crest it up. And even just basic fire sigil's fine. Okay, so Levitate's in the dark. I'm not sure how I feel about this. Yeah, let's just bottom that. We can just make this on turn 2 as just a free 2 with Overwhelm and no charge, but I do generally prefer like the surprise damage. So we could be playing the Mirror, but this is more than likely like a Primal carry deck. And Feast Caller is pretty interesting here. I think given this, I'd much prefer just to run our opponent out of resources, so when we get to the point where we can play the Feast Caller, opponent's just like got nothing left to deal with it. So it's like 1 removal spell here, 2 here. By the time we get to here, then we should be in good shape. Is this... Oh, Whispering Wind, okay. Well, Whispering Wind is usually up to no good, so... Generally want a Permafrost, but I'd also much rather just have the Vadius in play. And having Whispering Wind just means that we're probably not playing against Hailstorms either.
Your time has passed.
Of course, we'll be figuring out a lot just from what our opponent's going to discard here. Primal Sigil, so this could just be like another beatdown deck, but just using this for value. Doesn't seem to be too much nonsense going on over here. Okay. Sort of interesting pairing of cards here with the Whispering Wind and the Wump Party Starter. Well, let's see what we've got on top. And another Vadius is perhaps good against this, but I really just want to go Kaleb into Feast Caller and just Obliterate for 1,000,000. So I assume our opponent wasn't blocking anyway. But I really just want to keep this clock going. Just force our opponent to deal with this. Because otherwise this is just like a 2-turn clock, and it's going to make it really awkward to be able to attack with Whispering Wind. Nice. This opponent gets to get in for 6 here with a Champion of Fury. Oh. Pop the rock packer. What's going ham with snowballs here? It's a pretty sweet combo to get to turn the snowball into like a real card. I don't really want a depleted power here. I think just get the Kaleb down.
Is this my father's doing?
And we can't really attack here, but I will be making some blocks if I have to. Now, additional Wumps are a bit of a problem here, because this just makes these huge. It means that I can't really block the 3/7 with my 4/4. Although they did discard a snowball, so maybe it's okay. I don't really want to let him get like mileage out of a torch or anything like that, so we'll just block here with the 4/2. And I'll take my 6. I think that's mostly fine. So through with this torch, they really want to use it here. Just getting a bunch of damage. And now we're at 6, and we do sort of need to win this turn, or just really be able to deal with our opponent's board. And Levitate is not exactly what we're looking for. So we can Obliterate here, we get it for free, and then we have a 5/5, so we can attack for 5 this turn if we do that. Well, that puts us in trouble to these. I don't think that we're really going to win this match now. I think it's a little bit too far gone. If opponent's got like a Al's intervention, that could be troublesome. So opponent's got 1, and if they play a Yeti, they're able to deal as lethal. So I think we're just crunching for free here. Get our opponent to 8. Then next turn, hopefully we're able to use this Levitate on the Kaleb to be able to put like a lot of meaningful damage onto our opponent. Now, rats. So Permafrost plus like any Yeti or burn spell is pretty much enough. So let's see what they had. Interesting to see a bunch of us sort of playing around. Well, discarding the Obliterate there is sort of questionable. Because this one gets you something that's higher, so I suppose gets you another copy of the same thing. But yeah, once enough to do it. Even well, pre-combat they didn't have it. Well, on to the next game. Okay, well, I like these hands. Nice and easy, just a straight redraw there. And this one's going to be sort of rough. Oh, so another mirror here. Well, let's just chuck down the Skycrag banner. Then next time we'll be able to get with the Champion Fury, and our opponent starts making blockers and stuff, we're able to use Levitate plus Powderglider to some great effect. This probably means that our champion is going to get wiped out here. But if we get to get for a little bit of damage, then I'm happy. And there's the torch for us. And torch to the face, okay. Alright, okay. We're making a Northwind Herald, makes a little bit of sense now. Okay, well that's not how that works. But that's, yeah, opponents was conceded. Well, we'll leave that in as a little bit of a bonus. Just a PSA. Don't unstable farm use 0 costs. Okay, well, we do have a bunch of strategizers, but we are also trying to like kill our opponent, so this sounds probably just not what we're looking for. Although if we do find any of our big threats, then we can just slam them because the influence is pretty perfect. Perfect. This should be a redraw. Okay, I'm going to keep it. Don't keep this hand. I'm just incredibly greedy and I got some premium Skycrag banners, so I want to play them. Okay, well, it sort of worked out because we went for Vadius, which is a reasonable threat against like Felm colours. Kaleb's choice is, I'm not sure how good this is going to be. It does work pretty well when we've got a Aegis unit, because the second removal spell that we play we should be able to counter. Now we've got the Levitate as well, it should be pretty easy to just keep getting in for damage with this. And hopefully just really rely on that ultimate. Because the Chakra makes pretty much anything we play into a real threat. Even the Powdergliders get to put a little bit of work in. So it does have a pretty nice synergy with the Champions of Fury as well, because the Champion of Fury is an overworld unit, and anything that can boost that's power is basically just burning your face out. Okay, well, do we have a second one? Nope. Well, I'm just going to attack him for free. And I'm super happy just to make a fearless Yeti. If I'm just trying to set up a hailstorm, we get to counter it and then crunch in for 6 here. And then just like draw a bunch of cards. Although in cold blood would be even better, because I'd love to just waste 4 power of our opponents. Yep, nope. I'm pretty sure that's only one of them in this deck as well. But every time it's just perfect. Well, I'm probably not going to do anything. Let's just strategize here. And I think I'll keep this. Don't really need a million levitates, but I'd like the Obliterate as well, just to be able to keep punching in for damage. Vadius is probably a fine draw, but yeah, we do have a bunch of Aegis. Yeah, let's get that Vadius in here. Strategize, I'm sort of hoping for a power here as well. Maybe it was greedy to keep the Vadius, but I'm just going to ditch this Permafrost. And I probably can do whatever they want in that turn. I'm happy enough. We've got him down to 16, and we're just going to get in there for Vadius and hopefully draw into the power we need with the Levitate here.
Your time has passed.
And if my opponent plays like a champion, then I'm also pretty happy because I'm just going to pop the Aegis with Levitate and then just Obliterate it, just keep getting in there. Levitate is just like a really good card. Pops Aegis, gets in for damage, does pretty much everything, and he just draws a card. Which is pretty much the line of text you want on every card you're going to play. But with the Promise units like Kaleb and the Powderglider, this obviously goes up in stock as well. So it's taken a little while to weigh up the options here. So, is it champion? Yeah.
Show no mercy.
Well, now, even better, we've got the Eilyn Intervention and the Torch. So we get to attack, and if our opponent doesn't block, then our opponent's going to make Jotun Feast Caller. Because they realistically just can't block here. Yeah, this is great. Now we've got 2 really big threats our opponent has to deal with here. And it's unlikely that our opponent's going to be able to have 2 spells up to be able to kill this. But I would really like to just draw a Powderglider next turn, so we get to be able to keep up the Eilyn Intervention. Our opponent doesn't have many like free cost removal spells. Oh, it's got their own Feast Caller. Well, what can we do here? Okay, let's get 1 damage over, then we get to attack with both of these. The opponent's in a position where it's pretty ropey for them to try and attack us. So, draw a card. Kaleb's pretty great. Well, perhaps... Okay, so they didn't make the block there, which is fair enough, really. But now we just get to try and spike. Well, we get to torch him, draw a power, and ultimate. Well, we don't get to torch him anymore, so the torch is probably going to be used as like a real spell here. Well, we still got to do this. I'm probably just going to use the Eilyn's Intervention just to turn this into a 4-5. Okay, well, our opponent's letting us get in, which is nice. So, make the Kaleb and hopefully don't lose our entire board. But it's still going to be pretty difficult for our opponents to do. That's going to have to be like double Hailstorm. If they attack, I'm allowing it. But this is perfectly fine. Opponent gets to draw a card but is down a blocker. This is perhaps one of our outs where we just like trade off one of our good units. Because if they find a removal spell there, then they're still in bad shape. Now the Torch is ineffective as it is, it's still like worth a point of damage, and so is the Eilyn's Intervention just for this. So we managed to chalk that one up. Okay, well, here we are for the last game, and it's a pretty easy redraw there. Man, this is a little bit more like it. Got some Crest, so we should be able to just stop ourselves from getting flooded and just keep the counts we need. I think Crest here, if I find undepleted power, then I'm tempted to keep it, but I think Torch is good here. Hopefully I'm just against like a Recano beatdown deck or something. Just able to use the Torch just to... Okay, so this is straight armor rats. Torch is probably not going to be good, but at least we'll be able to deal for weapon with it at some point. Now if I put bottom and harsh rule, then we might be in okay shape actually. Kaleb could be really good here as well. As we're able to give like surprise prowess, so just maybe make it bigger than a rune hammer sometimes. So I would like to just get the Fearless Yeti down, get this Sea of Fury down, and then next turn we're able to, like, sort of out of nowhere, just slam the Champion of Fury and just get in there for 7 and have a little bit of a scout as well. And wanting posted Torch would be reasonably gross here, but that's fine. We're going to be able to, we've got a decent follow-up. But if our opponent doesn't play a power, then I think I'll just play the Kaleb out. Okay, well, we're just doing this, new plan. We've already bottomed a harsh rule, so maybe that means our opponent's got another one. Okay, so it's Torch here, so we definitely don't in this case. Guys, we're playing a Fearless Yeti. Because I'm pretty sure if you had like a harsh rule, you'd try and just get like max value off it against like a deck that's only showing you Yetis. Not really into that.
Is this my father's doing?
I'll just get the Kaleb down. Hopefully we've just managed to exhaust a lot of our opponent's removal spells here. Yeah, Slay will do the job. Well, time to strategize then. Hopefully this Vadius will be able to get us there, but I'm not super excited about that because I'm not sure if it's going to happen. But hopefully next turn we'll just levitate this turn. Just be able to get there for the 7th power and just get the Chakram on. Just crunch for 7 over the next couple of turns. But Aegis means very little when you're against a Runehammer deck, so I'm curious what they've risen for. Oh, okay, Maxwell's fine.
You cannot hide.
We've got Permafrost, so Maxwell's fine. Al's intervention not really doing much here. Probably should have kept that power in hand just so that we could hide that we've got the ultimate. But if our opponent's got a way of dealing with this, they just will anyway. So if this is a Slay, we'll feel pretty silly, but our opponent's already used like a bunch.
This ends
now. Well, we've got 9 points of burning hand. So if we're just able to find like another champion or just a way of pushing damage here, we should be reasonably okay. Because that's like nearly half our opponent's life total. We just need to be able to get some amount of damage in here. And carry means that it's probably too late. Because now they get to buff up like a Macto. Maybe we end up having to use Torch and Obliterate on this. Yeah, we'll keep the Sigil in hand. Just because we get Strategized, able to turn it into a real card. Well, hopefully we're able to just fade it for a turn and be able to try and rip through our deck with the Jotun Feast Caller. Yep. This is perhaps like a downside of the deck that is also playing like the little units package, so we are really just like overwhelmed here. Yeah. Okay, so that was Spellcrag. Felt a lot like just a really big Yeti deck. So just like a really robust version of the current Skycrag beatdown. And the threats are pretty great, to be honest. Like, Kaleb really surprised me with how I was just able to lethal out of nowhere in one of the games. And the Jotun Feast Caller is pretty great, even if it just draws you one. Like, if you're ever able to draw 2 or 3 cards off this, then you are living the dream. Okay, so the deck was sweet. I'm pretty sure I'll be trying this again, especially if we get like more cards to sort of slot in and get rid of this fail scaling, swap it for something more exciting. So I've been Those Alls, thanks for watching, see you around.